I used to start each day completely overwhelmed by my to-do list. I'd have a mix of things scribbled on random papers in my Slack channels or just trying to remember everything in my head. And going through each workday feeling like I was either forgetting tasks or not really sure where to focus my energy on next was really stressful for my nervous system. If you were anything like me, you've probably tried different software apps or methods, and all they've done was just add to the mental clutter that comes with running your business. Without a proper task management system, you can end up missing deadlines and disappointing clients, which can really set you back in your business. So today I'm going to show you an effective way that I use to organize and manage my task in Notion. At the start of every week, I open my weekly planning template, and this is where I begin to plan and organize my tasks for the week. I do this every week on Monday. At the beginning, it was taking me about an hour to complete. Now that I've got a streamlined process going, it's anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. So first things first, it's just about getting everything out of your head and into Notion. So don't worry about being too organized at this point. In a couple of moments, I'll show you how I begin to organize my task. So you can just begin to dump out. I'm just going to put task number 1, task number 2, task number 3. Then I like to begin to organize my dump task really quickly. And as you can see in this view here, I'll show you my filters. I have it where my due date is ascending, and we are filtered by anything that is not completed. So I'm only looking at my non-completed task, and I have this board grouped by project. So I do like to organize my tasks by project just because I have client projects, I have internal projects, and I just like to see how much I have going on for what client. And this makes it easier to organize. So from there, I can just begin to organize my task really quickly that I dumped out into their respective projects. I've got 2 going here. That's really what I love about Notion is that you can drag and drop things. So then once everything is dumped out of my brain and organized into their projects, I move on to phase 2 of my planning process, which is delay. It's quite normal to have a backlog of tasks that need to be completed at a later date. My ultimate goal of this whole process is to get to 3 main tasks per day so that I'm organized and efficient, and I'm really working on those tasks that are going to make the biggest impact for both my client's business and my own business. I begin to just scan through my tasks to see what I've got on deck for the week. You can either do it in this task by project view, or I find the monthly view really helpful just so I can see how kind of everything's lining up. And if I've got certain tasks that I know that I'm not going to complete this week, but are a priority for next week, I can easily drag and drop them in the calendar view. The goal of this phase is to narrow down your task to the tasks that absolutely have to get done this week, no matter what. After the delay phase, we're going to move on to the delegate phase. In this phase, you're going to look at your task list, decide how long each task is going to take, and determine if there are any tasks that you have that can be passed off to others. This helps to reduce your workload and allows you to focus on the tasks that need your special attention. First, I'm going to go through, and for each task, I'm going to assign a time estimate. Now, I do this by hour of how long I think everything is going to take. So let's say I think this takes a half an hour. I'm going to put 0.5. Maybe I think task 3 is going to take quarter of an hour. And maybe this one's going to take another hour. So now I've got my this week's task, and I can begin to look through them and see if there's any that I can delegate to my team. Begin to clear some of this off of my plate. Right now, I've got just everything assigned to me, but if I wanted to, I could assign it to another member of my team with the time estimate that I think that it's going to take them. And then during our team meeting, I can cover any details, or if I want to, I can open this up and provide any further instruction for them at this time. Once all my tasks are delegated, then I move on to creating my actual to-do list for each day. And for this process, I like to look at it in a grouped by day. So if you can see here, I have my grouping by due date with the oldest day first. I have a filter set up where the Done is not checked, so it's only showing me incompleted task, and where the start date relative to today is this week. And then I have it sorted by time block because I'm going to begin to look at each day and time block each thing. I know on average I have anywhere between 6 to 7 hours to get things done. So I'm looking at here, I have this calculation turned on where it's giving me the sum of my time estimate. So I know that if this is over 7 hours, I need to move that task off onto a different day. And then I can begin to time block my day on how I want to work on it. So I like to do my admin tasks first thing in the morning. Maybe that is this task. And then I like to do like my more brain oriented towards the end of the day. This is definitely like a list. And then this is definitely more creative task. And then if I know it's going to take 2 hours, I can assign 2 time blocks to it. And then if this is going to take 1 hour and then a half hour, I could assign this. If I had another task here, I could assign that there as well. But sometimes I just like a little white space to go take a break. So now you can see I have all my tasks lined up for the day. Obviously, this does shift and change and evolve throughout the week. But I find generally if I can look at my to-do list for the beginning of the day and begin to knock out those tasks. And then at the end of the day, even if a project took me a little bit longer than what I thought it was going to take me, I can always easily just move this to the next day and then plan my day that way as well. But I like to have a general plan of how things are going to go for the week when I sit down on my computer each day. One little bonus feature that I do want to show you, and I'm going to actually be uploading a whole nother video about this, is that you can see I have this start timer thing. I have an integration set up with T-Metric that integrates with my Notion. And so when I'm doing client task, I can hit start timer if this and create a time record for that task. And that way I can just keep track of how much time I'm spending on each project to ensure that I have my rates correctly or that I can identify any time management issues that I may be having, or just maybe I need to delegate some of these tasks because they are taking too long and I need to create a SOP or process for that. Now that you've seen my process on how to make your to-do list fun size, you're probably wondering, how can I do this myself? I've included a link where you can grab the template I walked you through today. This will help you transform your chaotic and scattered to-do list into a streamlined and productive way to get your work done. Make sure to grab it down below. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments below and tell me what you'd like to see from me next.